I heard a lot today about community engagement and connection, actually almost all day long, starting with joy. What I'm going to talk about is our events we do. We do them in-house, 100% with our current staff. I'll talk about some of the best practices we've learned over the time that we've done it. Originally, we outsourced the staff. We had one woman who was handling it. After a while, we decided we could handle it in-house, and I'll tell you how we handle it. Why we found the need for events, we talked about this earlier, connecting us with the community physically. Positive branding and goodwill. These awardees, ours are all 4 events, all awardee driven. These awardees remember you forever. If you've ever gotten an award somewhere, I've got 1 or 2 in my lifetime, you remember that organization and the experience, and hopefully it's a good experience. So we wanted to be known as the convener for community events, beating out any other media and nonprofits in our area. I was talking with Trevor earlier. He does a health fair. The newspaper does. 2 hospitals, I guess, are involved with that. I asked, how do people leave that feeling? Well, they feel it's the hospitals that are putting it on. We want it to feel like this is our event. We're the convener in the community. And a big thing is I'm on the money side, let's put it that way. Our ad person is still out there, although she's on the phone right now. She's not paying attention. We want to reach non-traditional advertisers and sponsors in St. Louis, people like Monsanto, Boeing. They're not going to take out ads in our paper, but they will take out sponsorships, or they will take out ads honoring one of the awardees that are from their company. So it also helps compensate for losses of the other types of revenue we all have. So our events are 1 per quarter. We do a cocktail reception. We do a community luncheon. We do a large-scale banquet and gala, which I'll talk about last. We do a business luncheon. Each event, for the most part, reaches a different audience. There's a little bit of overlap, but not too much. Again, they're awards-driven. We solicit nominations year-round, online, all year long. For example, we honor teachers. You know a teacher who's doing great work on it. Very easy system to do that, but also leading up to them, we take several weeks in print. We have house ads in there and on Facebook for that specific event. We also go to certain companies and request nominations from their companies, their PR people, HR people, and I'll tell you why that's effective, because if you choose their people, you got a connection with them right then and there, who I can go hit up for an ad on the way back. Again, this is going to be a lot of revenue driven. So our events, we have our own foundation, which we started not too long ago, so we really push scholarships. People love to see students up on stage, whether it's one full ride or $1,000 scholarship. They really like to see it. Makes them feel like their money went to a good cause. They come out of the event feeling good. Here's, they're not just taking our money. Look at what we're doing for this person. We make sure these students attend the event, brief appearance on stage. We put their name and photo on the screen. We have a brief in the special section, which we'll talk about again with their photo, putting the face with us and the community. All these scholarship recipients, again, we put these are all just this past year, we were able to do this. Tabloid Special Section for each event, talking with the advertising people out there. Of these 4 events, this now represents, I think it was 8.2% of our overall revenue comes from these 4 tabloids from the events. Very important. And again, it has a lot to do with the awardees. We do extensive photo coverage in print and online following the event. Some people might say you're taking up a lot of newsprint, you're taking away from my news hole, you're using too much color, Kevin. Well, we feel this is a big thing, especially for the awardees, their families, et cetera. And let's face it, not everybody's going to attend these events, so this is for the general public as well. Again, shows us that we are connected. Look at us with the community. This isn't just the mayor or somebody like that. These are average folks in the community who probably haven't been in our newspaper before. We love this lead sponsor, so we jack up that sponsor rate pretty high. If you want to have your person on stage introducing somebody, or sometimes we do, XYZ company is going to donate laptops to this to the scholarship recipients. The PR people love to have their person up on stage, and we make them pay to get on stage for this event. It's going to be this, it's going to be this. Otherwise, you're going to have too many people on stage. But they really love that PR person. That's a little check in their thing. We have other sponsorship levels, though, just like any other event. Ad in that special section we just showed you, table tickets to the event, logo company named and ads, collateral AV at the event. MC discusses what you're talking, who they are. This is a key you're probably all asking, what staff members participate. We found our executive assistant who works for me and the publisher had a little time on her hands and also is good at this type of thing. In some of your companies, you might have a part-time person or a person only for these events, or maybe one event per year. So our executive assistant, she does all planning and logistics, the venue, AV, vendors, talent, point of contact for the awardees, which is very important, sponsor reps for the people being on stage. We script every program very tightly, so you just can't get up there and talk. She's a liaison with our staff and manage the event, volunteers, orders awards, supplies, etc. The sales team, we have 3 full-time salespeople. They sell ads and sponsorships. They attend the event to greet clients. Their clients love that. Our graphic artist in-house develops promotional ads. The tickets we design ourselves, so we're not sending them to Kinko's or wherever. All the signage she does. Reporter does stories that run in the paper beforehand, as well as the special section as well. Accounting is ticketing and billing, which can be anywhere from online ticket sales to people actually coming to the office or going through email, et cetera. But that's very simple for them. Volunteers are very important. We suggest 2 per 100 guests just to show people around, help with awardees. The photographer, that's pretty obvious what he does. Publisher, not a whole lot. He's like the host, if you will. Web manager, very obvious. They're doing what they're already doing. We're not asking them to do anything really different. Quickly, I'm going to go about our 4 events. The first one, which is the funnest one, is a networking awards reception. And again, I'll go through these quickly. 20 young professionals under 40. It's a 5:30 to 7:30 reception. Small ticket price. We have 500 people attend. Again, this is St. Louis, I realize that. Family people love to come to this event. These are people who have probably never been recognized anywhere. You're going to hear me say that again and again. Quick program. It's mostly, as you can see the picture on the left, networking we talk about. Very easy, not a sit-down chicken dinner, boring, not, speaker after speaker after speaker. We talked about that. Hors d'oeuvres, 1 lead sponsor, 5 partner sponsors, younger crowd for us. We have some music playing. Next event is a healthcare awards luncheon. We all have hospitals, care centers, et cetera. Again, these people may not be recognized anywhere, nurses, doctors, et cetera. You can see an example of a table. This is a Thursday, Friday luncheon. We don't do Saturday events. This is during the week, 11 a.m. reception, noon luncheon awards program. There's some of the awards that we give, for example. We usually have 10 or 11 awardees per event. This one draws 450, little bit of an older crowd, 1 lead sponsor, variety of other tiered sponsors as well. Reaches health-related, sponsors and attendees that don't participate in our other 3 events. So these health folks, they're not going to our business event, they're not going to our education event, but we're reaching them, and it's a way to get these hospitals involved who, let's face it, have some money. There's the special section, as you can see, as an example of a promo ad, which we also have big boards like you would see at any event. Next, Salute to Excellence in Business. Again, another luncheon. This is during, you see the honorees, some of them. Again, a luncheon held at a local hotel in St. Louis. We have a networking reception. It's very exciting. There's people who go for the networking reception, eat, and then leave because they got to go back to work. They can't afford to be gone for 2.5 hours or something like that. But the networking makes it worth it for them to get off their job. Hey, boss, I got 3, 4 people, business cards today. We try to make it not a boring, just sit down lunch and dinner. It moves along pretty quickly. You can see some of the awardees we give there. In smaller towns, you can imagine the different type of businesses or business people you can give awards to. This one has 475 guests, 1 lead sponsor, same thing, other sponsors. Same kind of thing, Tabloid. You can see the main awardees that are on there. This one we do a Corporate Diversity Award, which is very interesting. Again, a promo. And last but not least is we do a big gala, which I don't recommend doing unless you're really experienced in this. This is a big one, takes a lot of toll on our staff. Friday this year, it's going to be our first Saturday evening gala. This is St. Louis's biggest sit-down dinner of any type, and it's put down by our little newspaper. We have a staff of 18, by the way. Not tiny, but not very large. Variety of education awards and scholarship presentations. We now have 8 universities from around the state who give out scholarships in our publisher's name. We love it because those chancellors or presidents show up. They're there. They take out sponsorships. Again, they got to pay a certain amount to get on stage. They see other university on stage. They want to be on stage as well. So it's grown from 1 to 2 to 7 to 8 right now, even as far as SEMO and Missouri State bring up their representatives to St. Louis so that they can give out scholarships. We'll talk about the exact awards in a second. This is a big, long event. There's a VIP reception. There's a general reception. There's a dinner awards presentation. This does get a little bit lengthy and, in my view, a little bit boring because there's, again, 8 chancellors up there. We don't have to talk about chancellors, I guess, here. But, we try to keep them, hey, keep it down to 2 minutes or 3 minutes or what have you. Then you have an awardees who they'll have a Oscar-winning moment and decide to, talk about Aunt Bertha, who showed the way from 20 years ago. So we try to tighten it up as much as we can, but it is a long evening. This one, we actually even do entertainment at the end. We do an old school, like a disco dance party, which is a ball. Anheuser-Busch is one of our biggest sponsors, and they provide all the beverages, which is nice. And then for some of the older folks, there's a jazz cabaret in a whole separate area where they can sit down and listen to more soft music. Again, one lead sponsor for this one is Wells Fargo Advisors in St. Louis, a variety of other ones. These are the awards we give for that. There's a Lifetime Achiever, somebody who's been teaching for 25, 30 years. Stellar Performer in Education, somebody who's done something big, different in the last year or two. We do a Counselor of the Year. We do an Early Childhood Educator of the Year. School of Excellence, 8 Excellence in Education Awards. Those are basically teachers. And scholarship and laptop computer presentations. And again, for all of these awardees, you can nominate them year long. We do a process and we got to choose them, 4 or 5, whatever months ahead of time, so we can prepare everybody so they know, so they can say the date, et cetera. If they can't make the date, well, we're choosing somebody else because we want somebody represented there. Again, this event is really scholarship driven. That guy in the middle is the Anheuser-Busch guy. For him and his PR staff, they're loving that because look at all these scholarships and computers they're giving away right there. The picture on the lower is some of the awardees. Again, these are not cheap awards. We try to make them nice crystal awards. They're going to have them forever. Okay, their kids are going to have. I've even seen them at funerals where they have their awards there. So you don't want to have some cheap plastic one or a little plaque or something that's this big. You want them to have nice awards. Again, they're going to remember it forever. Same kind of thing. Here's the special section that goes along with that and a little bit of the promotion. You can see the majority of the sponsors over there, again, all different levels of commitment. Now we're going to go into best practices. So getting started, does your staff have the capacity is all? We would suggest you start modestly, for example, with a luncheon of some type. Luncheons are cheaper, they're easier to pull off. You can do it at a hotel or any place like that. But choose an event that no one else is doing in your market. So we did Salute to Excellence in Healthcare. Nobody was really doing that. One hospital did it for their hospital, but in St. Louis we had so many. But now, 15 years later, we pretty much own that event. Create a budget. Trevor passed out these attend event planning sheets, which are terrific. You can just go line by, it talks about 1 year out, 6 months out, all the way down to day of. Create a list of potential lead sponsors and other sponsors. If your lists are too small, then don't do that event. Simple as that. meet with staff to make job functions, expectations clear. We found that they actually liked it. It's something a little bit different. They love doing the event. Now, some of the events get a little bit tiresome, but they like doing something a little bit different, have a little bit different responsibilities. Getting out of the office. That day, our office is half empty because folks are at the event. And again, we want them to be representatives of our paper connecting with the community. So they're there, even our receptionists, they're there all dressed up and nice, repping the paper, if you will. Plan, that's what this planner is about, so there's no disruption. We have a weekly newspaper. We have to get our weekly newspaper out. That's very important. We don't want to see the weekly newspaper dip in revenue or anything else, so you got to plan it at a time that makes sense for you, for the sponsors, et cetera. Other best practices a year ahead, you start contacting with the venue. Again, that's on this attend sheet. Solicit nominations 5 to 6 months before the event. You're still going to have people come at the last month. I got somebody to nominate. Well, it's been online all year. I'm sorry, we can't take it. However, we'll take that for next year. So we're already building up our nominations for next year. We notify awardees at least 3 months in advance so they can tell their family. When possible, we select awardees that are, of course, they're qualified, deserving, but if they also have some reach into the community, that's big. That's going to add attendance. If they're big in their church or their social club or sorority, et cetera, that's an added weight, if you will. If you have video capacity, we do videos to break it up at the events themselves. Brief videos, 3 minutes long. People love to see those, and again, it's instead of just people just talking at that podium forever. It's a nice thing. Marketing and building support. 2 months ahead of time, we ask awardees for a list of contacts to share the award news on their behalf, whether it's their company, professional organizations, even their family. We'll create a couple of things, which I'll show you in a second. Hey, Jim, you just won an award. We want to share that with everybody. We want to drive attendance. We don't want anybody to miss it. Those people may or may not be placed in a congratulatory award. Again, those contacts, we send everything. Missouri Press uses Hatchbuck, where here's Jim, he's being honored. Here's how you order events. Here are tickets. Here's how you do sponsorships. All a simple click, which is what we're talking about here. We invite previous awardees. We keep them on a nice database that they come year after year after year. This is a sample notification I'm just talking about to send to awardee contacts. Here's how you buy tickets, reserve a congratulatory ad, sponsorship opportunities, learn more about us. And a lot of times they'll see, here's the story about Jim that just ran in the paper, and you click on this. I'll go into our website, I'll zipping up clicks. Here's an example of the congratulatory ads. I know I'm winding down here, but Commerce Bank doesn't do anything with us year-round. Not one thing. And we're the largest weekly newspaper in Missouri. They don't do anything. But when somebody gets honored, they do something. Again, best practice is 2 months in advance, and this is all in the attend thing, so I won't get too much into that. Little things like menu, et cetera. Some of the staff likes to go and do that tasting to see what's going to be involved in there. Consistent, comprehensive communication with awardees, letting them know, I just won an award, I want to know everything. What about my mom? Is she when are they going to interview me? All these kind of things, that's very important. We recruit a lead volunteer who provides additional volunteers, again, 2 per 100. We offer a gift or stipend to our volunteers. Live music helps when you're doing the receptions. If you don't have that or don't want to put the money towards it. Venues, as you saw here earlier, have piped in music, which that's just fine. I'm running out of time. During me time, please feed your volunteers, musicians, decorators, et cetera. And the biggest thing, and this is last, is solicit feedback. Missouri Press says this, send a post-event survey to the awardees and attendees. Ask about their experience, including communication, ticketing, food service. If we get 10 food service complaints, guess what? I'm taking that back to the hotel or whoever and say, hey, this is what we got here. So you're either going to discount me, or next time I want to see a little bit better service. But that's not me telling these individuals. We can fine tune the event, whether they say it was too long, et cetera. Creates another touch point of contact with our guests and awardees. We do one specifically with awardees. How was your experience? Then we do one specifically with guests. How was your experience? Awardees always fill theirs out. Attendees may not, so we do a promotional prize. Sign up. If you turn yours in, you get 4 tickets to this, or you get a $100 gas card, or something along those lines.